Hey, I emailed two-time TI champion Seb if he wanted to coach me, and for some reason he said yes. Hi, I'm Torte Lini. Even though a lot of you out there trust my Dota 2 guides, I am actually not that good of a player. Oh, what the fuck? But you know who is? Seb, co-founder of OG and back-to-back winner of the International. Last week, he was generous enough to join my stream for a little coaching session about how to fix my early game as an offlaner. Take a look.
Okay, so we could just get started. I'll ask you, how do you, what do you think? What do you think about basically when the game is about to start? Like, so you have Centaur, you know you're laning with Rubik. I guess you know what you're laning against too.
So yeah,
Or
I definitely had
take a guess.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had the assumption that I was going to lane with Juggernaut. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to play, if it was going to be Lion or if it was going to be... Basically, when I see Juggernaut, I think if it is Lion, that it's going to pretty much slow or stop me. I need to build up some regeneration. That's pretty much how I see Centaur, that he's a big, kind of tanky regenerative guy, but a little bit slow. So already I'm going into the match a little hesitant on the idea that I'm going to be aggressive and more just seek out to just close out the laning stage without dying too much. I think that doesn't happen, but let's see.
Okay, so the first advice I can give is like, the more you think ahead, the more you plan ahead in Dota, the better the game will be. Because it's like, you want to think, obviously it's a game of adapting and the roadmap is hard to stick to the roadmap, but having a roadmap is really important because every one of your decisions is going to enable the landing point and enhance it, like make it better. So essentially, I would want you to already know if you're gonna try to play for maxing Retaliate, for instance, and buying Blade Mail and playing on farming. If you're gonna try to play in the wave, a little bit more pressure, like just have some sort of idea. I mean, obviously it's early.
Right.
That is like something I want us to work towards, so that when you go into a lane, you get smarter about the matchup and where you want to go. You know, what are you playing for, basically? Like, what are you aiming to do on this lane, and how are you aiming to get out of the laning phase? You know, in what capacity? Like, are you gonna rush Blink this game? Are you gonna play for Blade Mail? And then obviously that means you're gonna have to farm a few more minutes, etc., etc. And that is linked to how you perceive the lane is gonna go for you. And it is linked, therefore, to your read on, okay, I'm playing Centaur versus Juggernaut, which is what you mentioned. Therefore, I'm gonna buy these items. I'm gonna do this and that, and it's gonna lead to this outcome for the lane, and it's gonna lead to how I'm gonna play the next sequence. So, for instance, you have the notion that you're playing versus Jugger. So one thing that's really important in Dota, that I don't know how much you think about that or people think about that in general, but it sounds very basic, but it actually matters a lot, and even pro players sometimes forget to factor it in. It's just starting numbers, you know, like stats, basically. So if you look at, like, the one thing we know about Centaur is he's really high HP. Like, it's absurd HP, what he has, right? Like, you're sitting at 900 HP already, you're gonna meet a Juggernaut that has literally 300 HP less than you. Which means he dies much faster than you do. Right? Your base attack also is, like, base damage is really high, as you can see. You're sitting at 72, he's sitting at 60.
Right.
So only with that, you already have an angle to win the lane. And the angle is, you actually can last it better than he does.
Right.
So essentially, you have a big edge in terms of last hits on the Jugger. And what Jugger does, and now it's about knowing heroes and knowing matchups, is obviously he gets stronger with levels. Like, this guy needs time. He's really weak level 1. You're not. You come to the lane, you're already stronger than him. He will get better with levels, with items and whatnot. But Juggers, they play on killing, right? Like, that's what Juggers do. Is they play the lane, and eventually they hope to get an angle to kill with Blade Fury, because this spell is absurd. Like, it's literally the strongest level 1 damage spell in the game, right? Like, you don't have, there's no other spell that does as much damage as a 5-second Blade Fury. So that's what jugglers do, is like they chip on your HP and eventually they go for the kill, right? So where I'm gonna head with this is, following that logic, I want you to buy, in this game, I would want you to buy full stats. So you could go for triple, like make your HP as high as possible, so that, because if you buy strength, you're gonna get HP regen. So
Right.
the play of jugger of like harassing you into going for the kill is worst. The more HP you have, the more unlikely it is that he'll ever find an opening to kill you. Like Blade Fury does 5 times 80, but that's nothing if Centaur is sitting at, you know, however much HP you can get. And it boosts your damage also. So it means that you're gonna be, so basically, you could get a situation where you're just outlasting him because you have more damage than him, and he can't kill you. So he's helpless. He's like, there's this big fat guy on my lane. He's just last hitting and denying, and I can't fight him. Like, I can't kill him. I don't know what to do.
It's basically about removing kill threat potential, or just like removing the possibility that you could be killed right from the get-go.
And that's basically what I'm trying to build here. Is I'm trying to build with you like a perception of like an angle on how you can win the lane. You know.
Right.
Now it's because this is a lane that you can win. Centaur versus Jugger. There are lanes that it's not possible, and we'll get there. But essentially, that's like an angle to win the lane. All right.
Got it.
In Dota, you always need to have a backup plan, and obviously the backup plan on Centaur is, so how do you like to, I could ask like this also, how do you like to skill build Centaur yourself? Like, what are you gonna,
I mean,
what are you thinking?
I think this is both my value, but also my flaw is that I tend to be a little, you know, mindless when it comes to builds. I usually just follow what I've set up for the guide myself. I'm a victim of my own success, I guess, in that regard.
Okay. Yeah.
For sure, I know about, you know, sometimes you want to do double edge, or, you know, max out double edge. If you see a lot of kill potential for 4, or let's say there's a very weak pause 1, pause 5 that you can easily, you know, snag onto.
Are you comfortable with saving skill points and skilling them as you need them, or is that a little bit?
No, I'm familiar with that concept. I don't
much?
do it all that often, but I'm familiar with it.
Okay, but it doesn't mess with your gameplay. Like, you'd be comfortable doing that sometimes.
Yeah, for sure, no problem.
Okay, because Centaur is typically the kind of hero that situation happens often, and the reason for that is, as I've said, like, if you play the lane well, most of the time you're gonna be able to just sit in the lane on, like, unchallenged, and then you're not gonna get to use these skill points because they're not gonna get close to you. And then you can decide to either skill double edge to get a kill because you see a kill opportunity, or they're completely dodging you, and then you're gonna pull the skill points in retaliate instead, so that you can maximize the farm. You're like, okay, well, you don't want to touch me. I'm gonna go behind your tower. I'm gonna grab your creep wave into these neutral camps, and I'm gonna farm everything at the same time. And that's not gonna be possible if you already maxed double edge. Because then if you max double edge, like, now it's a Juggernaut, so he doesn't enjoy jungling as much, but imagine it's like a Sven or something, he would be like, okay, well, goodbye. Like, you get these creeps, and I'm just farming the entire jungle. And you won't be able to even match his farm speed, and which is why saving skill points, especially on Centaur, can be good.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
The first one is, when it comes to saving skill points, is it like 1 skill point, or like you're talking about you can save up to like 3, 4, or even 5?
You can save up as many as you need.
Really?
Essentially, the concept is just you don't skill if you don't need it. You know?
Got it.
Like, if you don't know 100% that you're going to need it, or that it doesn't make any sense to skill in a different way.
Okay.
So, for instance,
yeah,
level 1 on Centaur, you can skill the stun. There's almost no cases where skilling anything else is good, because it's just the best value point. It's the most useful. Offensively, defensively, you skill it. But after that, you can already decide. And sometimes skilling 2 or not skilling 2 or 3 can also be fine.
Okay, so even if
for instance, on level 6, you skill ulti, like no matter what.
If there's no kill potential, but they're also not harassing me, then I'm not gonna put points in retaliate or double edge. But if there comes a kill opportunity, like, I don't know, my pause 4 stuns, like hoodwink stuns, then I can just splash a bunch of points in double edge if I'm near enough to get a kill there.
Yeah, and you follow up and you kill, for instance.
Right. Okay. So my second question is basically, how detrimental is it if I skill up the wrong points. Like I thought there's a kill potential, so I put points in double edge, but in reality there isn't.
It's not that bad. I mean, it's gonna slow down a little bit. It's gonna hurt your farm speed by what? I don't know, 5%, 10%. It's not the end of the world,
So-
and it happens very often to
Really?
everyone.
Okay,
you know,
so it's
you're
normal.
trying to read the game and you misread it, or I mean, obviously enemies are also, you know, like playing sometimes different than what you would expect, especially in certain brackets. So
Yeah,
and mistakes are going to happen. Like that's still like
for sure.
there's not a single game of Dota where there's not hundreds of mistakes in like decisions, mistakes. It's totally fine. It's the case for you, for me. What matters is more look at the things you're doing right instead. Like celebrate that, value that, and try to work on the mistakes. But don't dwell on them. Like you're gonna make mistakes in the game. It's normal. Everybody does. I've won TI by making, you know, like hundreds of mistakes in the entirety of the tournament. Back to this. So now we talked a little bit about Centaur versus Jugger. We'll see what happens. You already skilled stun. That's totally fine. In this case, I don't always like it, but in this case, I think on Centaur, it's totally fine to skill stun. One thing I can talk about already is pre-rune. So getting first blood is important, but you also want to value your lane. So for instance, imagining I'm a Darkseer, you play Darkseer, and I'm gonna Surge. Like in no case it is okay to skill Surge, even if that means you get first blood or you save your ally. Like no matter what, you do what's important for your lane. The impact is gonna be much bigger on griefing your lane because of skill points or because of where you're sitting on the map, like arriving really late, missing the first wave, dying, or coming to the lane with 100 HP. All of that is not valuable. Like as in it's forbidden. Never do it. Always value your entry on the lane. You have to come to the lane healthy with the right skill point that you wanted. Don't sacrifice the next 5 minutes for a bounty rune or for a first blood. Never.
Okay, so prioritize the lane over potential first blood or rune.
Always. You need to come to your lane. I mean, and then you need to know basically your limits and play off of them. And there, as I said, there's gonna be mistakes, and that's fine. But so if you thought this doesn't hurt your lane and you did it, I'm fine with it. If you didn't care about the fact that it hurts your lane, this is when it's not okay. You see the nuance, the difference?
Yeah.
Then you'll just adapt basically, but value your lane and play accordingly.
Got it. One more thing.
So it doesn't mean never go to bounty rune. You know, sometimes you're gonna go. Sometimes you're gonna decide to take the first blood. Sometimes you will decide I'm gonna come a little late. I'm fine with it, as long as you didn't. As long as you aimed to. As long as you respected your laning phase, then I'm fine with whatever you tried.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
It definitely makes sense.
To go, so I like your item build nonetheless. I think it's fine. I would say that sometimes on Centaur you can afford not buying tangos straight away and value the stats more, and bring the tangos from the courier because you already have high HP regen.
Yeah, I've been seeing that for a lot of. I've been seeing that for a lot of core heroes at higher levels. Is that also applicable at, let's say, my level to skip?
It depends. Do people? Is this guy gonna pull you a tango? Because usually you need a tango in the meantime. Like when you for the time it takes for your courier to connect. So do people pull tangos if you ask?
I think it's 50-50. I think it's fit. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they will. I definitely don't.
If they won't, it can hurt you. If they won't, it can hurt you. Okay. But if he does, then it's perfect. It's optimal. So it's up to you. I don't know.
Got it.
It's up to you. But I like this. I like the fact you're going for double bracer. It's exactly what we talked about. You get HP regen, you get raw HP. This jugger is gonna have a really hard time killing you. You have a lot of stats. It's all good. But I would, in this lane, I would go triple gauntlet, triple branch myself. Just like full stats. Triple gauntlet, triple branch is +9 strength. You know, it's absurd. It's like I'm gonna have crazy damage. I'm gonna have crazy HP. Like I want to keep pushing that because, as I said, I'm going to this lane and I want to like. I know I'm stronger than Jugger. I want to bully him from the get-go. So you go to check the bottom rune. What I don't like about it so much is that you might get late to the top lane because of that. Or you might have to TP, which is fine, but it is 100 gold. So ideally, I would have checked the top rune myself here, just so that I can make it in time. This guy's blocking your wave, so it's potentially okay. But you know, for instance, here you see that Eurubik for some reason is not interested in helping.
Yeah.
The guy is just drinking coffee. It's fine. I hope the coffee is good. But then I would just run to the top rune because I'm like, if there are 5 here, we're not gonna fight anyway. Like we're missing one hero. So I might as well be on time for my lane. So now you lost HP and you lost mana, and you also click the TP. So now you go to the lane and you have only one stun to play with,
Yeah.
which is kind of rough.
I
Because
play
you're
on
gonna
hard
need
mode.
that stun. And you're also a little bit, and you're probably also scared to die, because if somehow you die, like, your game is kind of
Yeah,
done, or you're
that's my
gonna be
default
off
mood,
off
for
of
sure.
that. Yeah. So that's related to your decision to check this rune instead of checking this one in a safer way and just connecting to your Rubik. But not the end of the world, but things that can be improved. So I'm gonna talk about a concept on the laning phase. It's like, take it slowly with this one, because this is a concept that even pro players don't apply well enough. And honestly, if I was gonna coach the OG team later today, I would talk about that concept and I wouldn't be satisfied with what they're doing, you know? So the concept is, when you play a 2 versus 2, there's something we called, like, it's like what you guys do is you trade all the time, right? Like, especially supports, they trade with each others.
Yeah.
You're familiar with that concept? Like,
Yes.
they trade spells, they trade right clicks, and whenever your Rubik is trading with the and essentially, like, in a lane, 1 versus 1 situations are fine, but 2 versus 1 situations are hard to deal with, right? Imagine your Rubik is like low HP and he's backing off. You're gonna feel unsafe because this lion is gonna hit you all the time, and you can't really trade back with them, right?
Right.
You just have to take it up and just go back, or accept that they're denying creeps, that they're bullying you, because your Rubik is not ready to fight with you. You come to the lane to get last hits and get denies, right?
Right.
This is why people go to lanes. So this is the top 1 priority. Obviously, then a consequence of that, since you guys are fighting for the creep wave, is you're fighting heroes, and that can result into kills or into death.
Right.
So as a pos 3, you always need to help your pos 4 to out trade the enemy 5, because this might create a 2 versus 1 situation. If you guys fuck the line, then this jugger is gonna be sad.
Right. He's gonna
That's
be
how you
harassed by
fuck the
Rubik.
jugger, if that makes sense. A common mistake is that, let's say Rubik is fighting Lion a lot, and the Centaur is completely ignoring that. And the Centaur is like focused in his own duel, like me versus Jugger, you know? Last hit deny, you're stunning the Jug, etc., etc.
Right.
And it would have it's actually almost always better to help the Rubik fuck the Lion, and that to make sure that the Lion is like completely done, like low HP, no mana, something, you know, like, and then you guys are gonna be able to both turn to the Jugger after that. Okay?
I have 2
Now,
questions.
the reason why
Go
I
ahead.
talked about why do you go to lanes about last hits and deny is because I don't want you to ruin your last hits because of that. I don't want you to lose a creep wave to help the Rubik. I don't want you to even lose a creep wave to kill the Lion. But I want you to do it every time you have a little bit of space. No creeps are about to die. You can slowly walk up to the Lion.
Maybe I can pause here so I can talk about it. So
Yeah.
in this scenario right here, you just saw basically this happens a lot in my games where Lion and Rubik kind of just hit each other a bunch of times. Maybe they're kind of close like this, or maybe they're like a little more towards like safe and hard camp. For me, it's kind of hard to understand, because you're saying don't sacrifice your last hits or denies, but
Yeah.
for me it's also hard to understand, you know, when are they too close, when are they too far for me to actually even make an attempt. Like if Rubik and
Yep.
Lion are here, is it sufficient enough? Is it enough for me to just walk over to Lion so he backs off, or are you saying you should commit more? Let's say
So-
in this scenario, if we don't account for last hits and denies.
You know, it's a good question, and honestly, it's a very fine line, and it's a matter of balance. So this is not easy, and it's gonna be hard for it to become optimal. And as I said, like, only a few players in the world don't do this really optimally. So
For sure.
whatever improvement you can get on that, even if it's 1%, 5%, just it's already great. You know, don't think about doing it perfectly. Just be aware. And basically, my answer to that is the priority are the creeps. The creeps are the priority. So if Rubik decides to trade here with Lion,
Right.
it's up to him. Do not walk there. You know, Rubik has no business trading with Lion. If they're both fighting it up down here in the river, well, I don't know what this Rubik is doing, but don't get baited. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
on him.
He's I mean, you know, like I said, people get a little
It's fine.
overly
It's fine.
focused on like dumb things.
Don't pay attention to it. It is what it is. Like, he's not playing optimally. It's fine. So you focus on the creeps, and turns out you're stronger than Jugger, so you don't mind the 1 versus 1 in this case. So you're not unhappy having to fight with the Jug 1 versus 1. But my point is that sometimes, let's say they're trading here. You see my mouse?
Yeah.
You don't even have to run there all the way. You can just pretend that you're gonna run there. You know what I mean? You just like
pressure, basically. Yeah.
You move your body like a little bit to the right, and this line might be like, oh fuck, like Centaur's coming, I'm backing off. And the fact that he backs off, it might allow Rubik to hit him 2 times without Lion hitting back.
Okay, so it's compounding effects, you're basically saying.
Yeah, and then if the fact that you moved a little bit to the right, it allowed Rubik to hit Lion more than Lion hit back, you created what we call like an out trade situation. Rubik was able to out trade the Lion. He's burning his region. So, you know, you help your 4 by just pretending that you were gonna go there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. No, I get it. It's kind of like you're triangulate. You're kind of like closing in on a triangle.
Exactly. Yeah, you're like
line. Yeah.
You're like angling there. Lion should be like, oh fuck. And if Lion doesn't respect that, maybe you even get a kill.
Or
if this line is like completely
a stun or a double edge on him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like lift into stun or whatever, you know. But yeah. But let's look at the lane now. So, for instance, here, like your Rubik should be hitting the Lion. You know, he should not allow for Lion to hit you like this.
He's picky about when he wants to attack.
yeah, for sure. So you're strong on the. So one quick thing tip I can give you in Centaur. Like I talked about the stun tool.
Yeah.
Stun tool means that, because obviously, if you decide to attack, to last it, that attack animation doesn't go for the deny, right?
Right.
So let's look at the situation here. You're gonna have 2 creeps. So look at the creeps here.
Yeah.
So you aggroed the creeps on the range creep, right? You did that.
That's right.
The reason why I like it a lot is because I said that you're stronger than Jugger. So he should not feel
closer to me and to Rubik.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he should not feel very safe doing so. Now, you have a decision to make. You either last it, the melee creep that is dying,
right?
Or you either deny the range creep, correct?
That's right.
So let's see what you end up doing. You go for
lasted, of course. I'm a greedy motherfucker.
Yeah, but you're gonna give him. Oh, he doesn't go for it. You actually get it. But I'll still make the point. The
it's a very imperfect MMR.
Yeah, but it's fine. But what I could tell you here is what you can do as Centaur is you can just focus on the deny, and if this guy gets close enough, you stand in a way that you're gonna deny this, and if he tries to deny, you're gonna stun. You're gonna last this one with a stun and the Jugger.
And I can like only okay. So I would use because I have a limit. Obviously, I used up my mana previously, but even in this scenario,
you should be full mana. In a normal scenario, you should be full mana.
Right. But even in this scenario, you say if you can do a 2-for-1 deal with your stun, you should stun.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because this Jugger is then you're gonna get an asset, you're gonna get a delay on the range creep,
right?
And the Jugger is gonna take damage from your stun,
right?
And a good Jugger would actually not even try. You know, like a good Jugger would be like, it's a Centaur. I can't get this.
We don't know what good Jugger is here, but I got it. Yeah.
I mean, this guy might just go in. So good for you. You know. But basically, the little point I'm trying to make with Centaur is like sometimes think of your stun as a tool to secure the last hit as well as the deny that you got by auto-attacking it.
Right. I don't need to attack if I could just stun and also shut down the Jugger.
You're gonna get both.
Got it.
And he's getting nothing. He's getting stunned.
A waste of time. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So this stun, you use the stun. I mean, now in this lane, I don't want you to use stun at all. I was building the theory before. If you were full mana, it's worth it. Now that you're not full mana, I don't want you to stun because you only have 1 stun to play with, and we actually need it. Because you remember what I talked about out trading and helping your Rubik.
Right.
You're not gonna be able to do so if you're out of mana. If you're out of mana, your Rubik is weak. Because they should know that this Centaur is he's not a threat. He's useless.
If I do use the stun, let's say to shut down Jug to get my last hit while I'm denying, that will then a good Lion player would typically see that I use my stun and probably go harder on Rubik, or is that?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you don't want to be out of mana. You never want to be out of mana on lane. Never.
Right. You always want that.
You need to have that threat, It's really
kill threat
important.
potential.
So what you did here is really cool, by the way. Like, it's what I talked about right before.
Oh,
You
this
see?
is
Like,
this
you
is very
got
rare.
the deny, and you use the stun to get the last hit as well.
Yeah, I didn't even know I did
Deny?
that, so thank you for noticing.
Yeah. So you got both. You could have instead give them the last hit and go for the last hit with your auto attack. You decide to get both. It is okay for you to take damage because your HP regen is quite
Regeneration.
high.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you're trading. You don't want to, again, you don't want to get to the kill range. Because if you die to them because you're too low HP, like as soon as their combination, so it has to be like an assessment, you know?
Yeah.
But as soon as their combination of like Earth Spike plus Grenade plus Blade Fury kills you, watch out. So you want to keep enough HP for that not to happen. You can even do the math if you can, or just through instinct and feeling.
Yeah.
But so do not get under that threshold. But everything that's above the threshold, keep trading as you did. It's great. And the reason why you want to trade is because you have 6.5 HP regen. He has 2.9. So any trade you take is favorable to you. And that is something you want to keep using.
And I guess that's the value of Centaur, where he has such high HP, such high regen. It gives you a lot of wiggle room to be.
This guy's gonna have to buy tangos, and you're not gonna have to, especially because you're building bracers. So you're gonna keep amplifying this region, HP region, and this is not gonna, like, if you see like this guy is still sitting at 3. Now you're up to 8. You're gonna get your second bracer. Like, you're going up and up and up, and this guy's still sitting at 3. This guy's gonna keep having to waste gold on the tangos, and you don't have to, and that's massive. It means it's gonna delay his phase boots. It means, you know, it has big effects.
Right.
It looks like it's not much, but it actually matters a lot.
Yeah.
So you're a little bit low. So this is the threshold we talked about.
Yeah.
Maybe you're under the threshold now.
Won't stop me from trying to last hit.
Yeah, and I think you can tell also. I don't know if you look at the line. Let's see the line here. Like you saw the. Okay, there's something I call strafes, just so you're familiar with my vocabulary too. Like, what I call a strafe is foot movement on the lane. You know what I mean? So line, I'm gonna say the line strafed towards you. It means he walked like this, like he kind of right clicked you. Like look at him now. Look at what he does. You see that shit? Like when he run like this, you saw him run south a little bit in your direction. Do you know why? Like, can you, in terms of like just Dota instinct, this should tell you that he's thinking about going on you. I don't know if you can, if that's like a
it does give a feeling like he's gonna go walk up and stun me, for example. If that's what you.
It felt like he wanted to do it, and then he decided against it.
Right.
I don't know if that's too subtle or if you actually.
I think he's actually just trying to stun me. I think I don't think.
Look at his movement. Look at his movement.
It's not Silent to the Lambs here. It's straight up just like kids playing.
Yeah. Like, to me, I can tell that he's thinking about going. Like, they're either pinging or. Well, I don't know how they're communicating or if they are communicating at all, but he's thinking about going on you. And now, obviously, like, now you're way too deep, given the HP that you have. Now you're kind of under the threshold. So the fact that you walk up to them is a mistake, of course. So now you're way too deep. You deserve to die, for sure.
How dare you? But I agree.
you overplayed your hand.
Listen, sometimes I confuse size with ability to live and survive. So
yeah, I like what Rubik did here though. It was really nice of him. And I don't know how much you value that.
Down so he can keep the wave from.
He made sure that the wave doesn't go into tower, which again, it's amazing. Like, as I've said, you're stronger than Jugger in terms of lasted denying. So this Jugger doesn't like the status quo on this lane.
Right.
And what keeps the status quo is the small camp being blocked.
Right.
Because they can't pull the lane back, and the creeps not going into your tower, because if the creeps don't go into the tower, basically they're meeting here, and they will never stop meeting here unless they can pull the wave back. But right now they can't. The camp is blocked. So it is really cool what this Rubik did, because he's giving you another. I'm standing here and Jug is standing here, and it is always safer to stand here because their chase potential is very limited. They are not going to go under the tower, and you have the tower help, of course. Whereas when you're fighting here, there is chase potential like all the way.
Got it.
Okay. So your job as you go back to this lane is to make sure that you hold the lane there.
Was that a wasted stun or no?
No, you had the mana region from the fountain. You secured the last hit. You have 2 stuns more. You're chilling. It was not wasted. And the last point I'm gonna make about the laning phase, and then we're gonna move on to what happens after, is lane equilibrium and lane manipulation.
Yes.
So where to hold the lane and how to hold the lane. So what I was telling you here is that you guys have created for yourself a really nice. The lane is in a perfect position essentially, so you want to make sure that it stays there. So you have to keep assessing. I don't know if you're familiar, like if you're comfortable with that or not, but you know,
No, for
you have a
sure.
notion of like where the next wave is coming. Like, do you feel like it's gonna stay there? You want to think about it a little bit, and you have tools, for instance, to fix it. If you feel like these creeps were dying too quick, like I'll show here, you could decide to round up with them if you want by aggroing them to you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm familiar with that, with like pulling and blocking, let's say, safe camp, their safe camp. I think there's one concept I'm not familiar with that maybe you can talk about, or maybe have it planned later on, is sometimes I see it at higher levels that players go past the enemy tower and then pull that wave over there. I'm not quite sure when to do that, when it's safe to do it. And
we'll talk about that.
Okay,
we'll talk about that.
Perfect.
And the last maybe points I can make is the aggro on range creeps, because that's something that happens a lot. I think a lot of players develop the habit of just doing it. Because I see you do it sometimes. Like what this jugger just did, for instance, here. So you guys do this in this bracket. Like, look at what he does. He aggros the creeps onto his range, right?
Right.
That is something you want to think about a little bit. Because
really, you don't automatically do it?
No. It actually depends on the nature of the heroes. So, for instance, this jugger should not do this, because him doing that. Because why do you do this? You do this to deny the range creep. But they're not gonna deny range creeps against Rubik. It's not happening.
It's also less damage output, so doesn't it like slow the wave from pushing?
It does, but if you mirror it yourself, if you also do the same, then it doesn't.
Which I will,
Which you will. And what's actually going to happen when he does that is Rubik is gonna last in it with Fate Bolt. They can stop it, and it's gonna be really rough for them. It's much worse for Lion to try to last in it. It's actually much harder.
Okay.
He might not be able to do it, and this jugger doesn't want to walk to this range creep, as we've talked.
But
you're sitting in front of it. You're gonna stun
I have one question about that. If he does Fate Bolt it, and this is for a lot of other heroes, and won't that Fate Bolt hit the other melee creeps? Doesn't that then make them weaker to then push the wave towards me, or it's irrelevant?
It's not it's not relevant. As in, it will, but it's not gonna have a significant impact. You don't have to worry about it.
I thought it would.
Yeah. No, not enough, because like it's only 5% damage reduction. So the damage reduction got 2 nerfs on Rubik. It's too little.
Yeah.
But so you don't have to worry about that.
That means it depends on the hero as well, then, right?
It does.
Okay.
But essentially, like the concept I can leave you with here is when you aggro creeps on the range creep, kind of ask yourself whether it favors you or not. It's, again, I'm not expecting, and please do not try to implement all these concepts in the next game. Just like the fact that you just heard them, at some point in a game, you're gonna be like, you're gonna think about it for some reason that I can't explain. And sometimes, and often you won't, and that's fine. And sometimes you will, and eventually it's gonna, you don't trust the process, kinda. It's gonna, we planted a seed, it's gonna, grow.
Right. I'm gonna be
I
aware
don't know what is gonna be ready or what it will have bloomed, but it doesn't matter. Like, don't burden yourself with all these concepts when you play, but just now you probably think sometimes you'll see your 4 trading with your 5 for instance, and you'll be like, oh, I have nothing to do. I'm just gonna pretend that I'm gonna go there. So if Rubik was a silencer, how do you guys get this range creep here?
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
not easy.
Like a shitty
if you woke up to it, they might click all their spells on you because you're gonna be very deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna feel like you don't want to walk there, and they might get the deny. If it's easy for them, don't aggro.
Oh, he did Fate Bolt. Fantastic. Yeah, okay, got it.
If it's really hard for them, which it is in this lane, this is perfect. Look at this jugger. He gives up on it.
Yeah, true. I never thought about that. That's such a good small thing. I mean,
and you see what happens here. You got the range creep, and they're gonna lose this one. And this can happen every single wave. And if this happens 5 waves in a row, they lost the lane. You're out leveling them.
Got it.
So it's very basic, as a simple. The same creeps meet every wave. The situation happens every wave. This jugger should not aggro. So now I'm explaining this concept from his perspective.
Right.
But it's still the same concept.
Interesting. So should I be helping? This happens a lot too. Like maybe in this case he's fine, but should I typically be helping them when this happens, or should I focus still on last hitting and deny?
Actually, this is great for you. This Rubik is completely out of position. You don't want to. You're getting a range trip deny and 2 last hits.
Right.
You have no business going there. And how can you fix this? What are you gonna do? Like he's already stunned. He's already spin. You know what I mean? Like you can't even help him. Actually, he has a salve, so he's totally fine. He's actually baited 2 spells, and he's just gonna reach it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Those guys doing a lot of heavy lifting for me.
You should be super happy right? You're like, oh great, they don't have spells. Like the next wave is, I can do whatever the fuck I want on the next wave. Great stun.
Thank you.
This is amazing because
so funny because
are hitting him.
Go ahead.
I mean, this is good. This is very good. All the creeps are hitting him. It's what I called an alt trade situation, right?
Yeah.
What I called alt trade is when your trading is better than theirs, just because it is, or because the situation is so that they can't answer the damage you're doing. And
can we see the last hits? The hits we have for everybody.
Yeah. So
look at that. 1, 10 to 5. Holy cow! I had no idea.
You're doing great. And here, typically, this jogger, after he's getting stunned, he has only one play: is to run back. He can't trade back. So you guys are hitting him for free. That's what I called an out trading situation.
Yeah.
He has to run, and you're doing, again, the damage you're doing with double edge. I love it, because it's related to what we talked about, which is you have a shit ton of HP regen. He doesn't. So every time you have the chance to deal damage, you do it, because you're burning gold from him. He has to buy tangos and salve, right? So every damage you deal is actually gold. You're hurting him with net worth. Whereas for you, it's not the case. But again, we always want to respect the health threshold, right?
the kill threat.
Yes, always.
Got it. Wow, I learned a lot already. It's fantastic.
It's good. One very simple concept. So Lotus comes at minute 3. It always happens. Okay.
Right.
Lotus is really important. It matters a lot, because all these trades that we talk about, they come down to little things, right? We talked about like the fact, it's like 100 HP difference is everything.
Right.
Because if they click all their spells on you and you don't die, now they have no mana, you're gonna regen up, you have to die. So 100 HP is everything. So basically, that's why buying a magic stick on lanes where they use spells is important, because it buffs your effective HP, and it ups the threshold that we talked about, right? It's gonna allow you to be more aggressive on the lane, because the effective threshold is higher, because you have 10 magic stick charges.
That's right, and I have the potential to regain my mana as well.
Exactly, and the Lotus is the same. If you have a Lotus, the kill threat that they have on you is even worse.
Right.
Because you're sitting there with that amount of HP, some stick charges, loads, they're like, fuck it. Like, this Centaur we can never go on him. So we are first to tanking his stuns and his right clicks and his double edge spam. Jugger's gonna be helpless. Anyway, so Lotus matters a lot.
So I do have one
question. The
best
way to get the Lotus? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, my question is really simple, is that sometimes I'll be in a scenario where I will die maybe twice, even 3 times in the lane. Is it then and then I realize I should have bought a stick magic wand, or I should have bought maybe infused raindrops. When that happens and the lane stage is, I wouldn't say over, but it's rounding out to over, is it still a good idea to buy that, or is it just like it's done, move on?
No, yeah. I think, well, it's based on your ability to read whether or not the lane is done. If your read is that the lane is done and you're not going to be able to win it, you don't itemize for it. You itemize for plan B. And plan B might be you're going to jungle, you're going to play safe, so you stop buying these items. You pivot.
Yeah, okay.
But if you feel like it's still winnable, I need
those items earlier.
Yeah.
Got it.
So the answer is no. The best and safest way to get the Lotus is to push the lane with the next wave. Like, basically exactly now. Like ahead of minute 3, you push the lane.
Right, got it. So like mid lane where you push the lane when it comes up to 2 and 4 minutes and 6 minutes.
Exactly. So like typically here, you actually have a perfect situation to get the Lotus. It's gonna spawn in 20 seconds. You have more creeps than they do. If this jugger has to deal with creeps under his tower,
right,
the Lotus is yours.
Right, he'll miss out on last hits.
Yep. Yeah. And they will always go for last hits. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So typically here, I don't like you chasing him too deep. I'll explain why. This here.
This is too much?
It's too much, Because it would not be too much if it wasn't for the Lotus. But now I want you to actually auto-attack these creeps to
and
make
shove
sure.
the wave up. Got it.
Yes, because if you keep right-clicking this jugger, his creeps are going to follow you.
Got
And if his creeps follow you, they're not dying to your creeps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want these creeps to stay as they are, get killed by your own creeps, and I even want you and Rubik to attack on top of it. I would even want Rubik to fade ball these creeps.
Wow. Okay, that committed.
That committed. I want these 4 creeps to be as healthy as possible under their tower for you to pick up the Lotus for free. And then Rubik will even be freed up. Like, if this was a pro game, you push this lane together, he fade balls, they're under tower minute 3, you're gonna get the Lotus alone on Centaur, and Rubik will open big camp. Because these guys are gonna be busy looking at creeps under their tower.
Yeah. So does mana pool account for this decision making? Let's say you say like
Yeah.
here he shoots fade bolt. If he has
Look
like
at
let's
him.
say enough for 1 fade bolt, should he still do
He
it
has-
or
No, if he has no mana, back to the concept we talked about,
Got
you
it.
save the mana.
just double checking?
But he has 400 mana,
Right.
Mango, Magic Wand, you're gonna get the Lotus. He has infinite mana on this
Yeah, he
lane.
has a buffet
So,
of food. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, no problem.
Got it.
So, because what happens now is you guys are not really hitting the creeps. You see how like the lane ends up being actually kind of even?
Yeah.
Kind of even.
I mean, the
So this
idea
was
of pushing
typically-
your lane, I know it's for mid, but I just never realized it for the side lanes as well.
Yeah, it's only for Lotus. And
Right.
the minute 3. The minute 6 is not the case.
Oh,
it's
okay, I
only
didn't
for
know
the
that.
first Lotus.
Just for minute
Yeah.
3, got it.
Only minute 3. So now they're actually in a situation where since their creeps are still tanking, they could decide to go for it. I don't think it's great. I don't think they should. Here, I just want to show that this line is dead. By the way.
Is he? I mean,
Yeah.
you mean in general, not in this game.
Yeah, he should die.
In this
Like,
game,
look
I'm
here.
like, I don't want to lose my mana.
If you look at but Rubik should lift the line into you. But obviously he doesn't. But if you recognize this, you can pick the Rubik here, like lift into your stun.
Stun,
Like
and then
this
W.
line is going to die.
Yeah.
Stun into W, and this jugger can't do anything. He has not enough damage to kill you.
I think what you were implying, and then I just realized is that I don't have to kill the lion, but if I make the lion effectively, have 20% of his HP, he's effectively dead because he can't do the things
Exactly.
he wants to do.
Exactly.
For some reason, I
He's
didn't realize that, but
AFK.
you were saying it the whole time.
He's AFK until he gets HP back, which might take a minute and a half, and that's free reign for you. That's probably, I don't know,
Right.
8 last hits, 5 denies. Like this, it's gonna hurt the jugger so much.
True.
Yeah.
Good point.
So this Rubik should lift the lion here, 100%. But so does he not do it because he doesn't realize? Maybe because the fact that you're not playing up. I don't know.
I think
But
it's because
what
we're
I mean
playing.
is, like-
I think it's because he doesn't see the actual kill. Because I was thinking
Yeah.
in black and white, either he's dead or alive. Not that
Yeah.
10% is effectively dead.
If you see it, you can ping or you can walk up and see what happens. But you definitely need him to start. So now they decide to go for Lotus. Your Rubik seems quite unaware. Like it's okay. Like
I do too, for that matter. But yeah.
it's again another way to prevent Lotus is like for you guys to stand here, like stand a little bit more to the left. You
Yeah.
would make it impossible for them to run into you.
Right.
You know?
Create that
So,
triangular.
Rubik should not be
pressure.
standing there. This Rubik should be standing there. But this is very micro, but it matters,
No,
matters.
it matters. Yeah, for the lane state for sure.
Yeah, and the same for you. It's like you putting your body here is gonna dissuade them. Like for instance, you decided to run right here. Had you run left, this line maybe would have thought twice about running like this.
Yeah,
He's allowed to
I
run
was
like this
worried about
because
the
you guys
mana
are-
suck. I didn't want to lose
Yeah.
all my mana.
Sure, but you could have broken the
The other
mana
way, for
drain
sure,
to the
for
left
sure.
too, right? You could have just walked here.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you want this, of course, and now you walk left. So now he goes. I mean, this is quite crazy. Of course, he's low, but Rubik is upset about it, but late.
He realizes it. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about this.
Ends up being a big fight. You missed the stun, but it's good. Look at the jugger. Nobody cares.
I stand for
Rubik
the
has 1
Lotus.
charges. Nice harass. Great.
Thank you.
So this is typically a skill point I would have want you to save here. I love that you're harassing him like this. I think you can save the next skill point.
Ah, that's what you're talking
Honest-
about. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is not gonna be put to use yet, and you might be able to kill the jugger with 2 points in double edge. In which case, it will be worth it.
Right.
But
yeah.
I would give it 90% chances that you're gonna skill this anyway. So you're correct about the skill point.
So
It's just that
yeah, go ahead.
if you don't need it, protect the 10% chances you might have to get a jungler kill.
So that
Unless
kinda
you
leads
feel
to
like this changes your laning phase completely, but I don't think it will.
that kind of leads into my first question for skill build for especially for Centaur. When it comes to maxing out retaliate, if I'm playing, let's say, I mean, the Lion, the Juggernaut, they don't really auto attack me, but I still max out retaliate. What would be the reasoning like a pro would do that, or they wouldn't do that?
Honestly,
what is the reasoning that we max out typically retaliate?
You max retaliate because Centaur is a hero that farms absurdly fast when he has this maxed.
Right.
And
especially with the bracers, right?
Yeah. And Centaur's dream is once you have your Vanguard plus retaliate maxed, you basically take almost no damage from neutral camps. So then, and you're also really hard to attack. Like,
right.
Supports can't harass you. They take more damage than they do.
And it's okay if I have 2-3 points of double edge and then max retaliate. Right?
Yeah, but again, having these points, if you didn't use them, as in, I only want you to up the double edge if it makes the difference between an even lane or a lane that you're bullying. You know, if it allows you to bully the lane or to win it, do it.
Right.
But because you're taking away from your own farm.
Yeah, that's exactly what the kind of the conundrum or dilemma I was
you have to
alluding
the balance.
to was like,
yeah,
you're saving points so you can have double edge for potential kills in the lane, but at the same time, you know, we're thinking ahead. We're thinking I need retaliate so I can start farming quickly to get my items more quickly as well.
Yeah,
that's kind of a concept I have trouble kind of understanding of when to do one or the other, or maybe they both should be done.
Well, the safe way is always to max retaliate in this case, just to make sure that no matter what, you're gonna go for plan B, which is I'm just gonna farm fast and get my items. And in some cases, you'll get the feeling of like, hey, if I actually get a second point in double edge, it's the difference between this jugger like having a decent time or him just getting completely kicked out of the lane.
Right.
Then you do it. 1 point is fine, but I definitely would not want to see you with like 1-3-1, for instance. That's like way too much, you know. Now you're actually hurting your game even more than you're hurting his.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. Okay, so but you do want to get to the point where this is maxed. You're behind the tower because nobody can touch you. You're farming because essentially. Okay, if we play this a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we got a little stuck in the laning stage here. I think we talked for like 45 minutes about it.
Yeah, but it's worth it because if your laning phase is stronger and better, like everything else will also be. Because basically, you're not gonna be able to go behind the tower and flash farm if you had a really rough laning phase. You know, you're gonna feel helpless. You're gonna feel like this hero is unplayable.
Low, for sure.
But if every game you're top net worth, really high level, good timings and items, it's gonna be simple to talk about. Oh, you should now check the rune. You should buy this. You should buy that. You know, so I think it's fine to spend time on the laning phase just so that it gets better. Because as we talked in the beginning, like first things first, like good start lead to items, lead to gameplay, lead to everything. Bad start leads to just struggle. You know.
Got it.
Okay, so let's keep playing. 2 points to retaliate. It's great.
I'm gonna max it out for sure.
Yeah.
So this happens a lot. I always take a lot of risk for. I don't know if it's value or not.
Okay, you want to watch what just happened?
I mean, you could just say like you're an idiot. Don't do that.
Let me see.
Like I see a potential kill, and I think I'll just slide in a quick little. So I do a stop stun there. Take a lot of damage because they get there. I pull back. Rubik does a lot of heavy.
So far it's fine. Here. Oh, you mean running back there, yeah?
Yeah, like it's gonna come here. I want to kill a jug, but obviously I don't want to die.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
There it is. See. It's hard. It's kind of hard to know.
Oh, this is worth it. This was worth it.
So
yeah, 100%.
How would I be able to decipher that? Because otherwise I'll find myself suiciding all the time for kills. I
mean, here the reason why it's worth it is because you're in a tough spot right now. You have no TP, no mana, no HP.
That's right.
It's gonna take you forever to get back to full. You might even have to buy a salve or something, you know. And your courier is here. You're going for the Vanguard. Dying is not even bad at this point.
Okay.
You know.
Even if he's like ahead of levels and
you get a free TP, you regen full HP, full mana, so you're gonna kill the jug. You kill him first, you get the XP, you get the gold to buy your Vanguard, you get a free TP, you come back full HP, full mana. This is actually perfection. So like, this is the best thing that could happen to you is what happens here.
Oh, then
like,
I'll take the compliment.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Obviously, Lion is happy, but
All right.
you're
Not
super
the
happy.
judge.
You bought your Vanguard, you got a TP, you're gonna come back, and you're coming back as the raid boss now. Think about Jugger's perspective. Like, you know, he's like, I can deal. How much can he deal? I can deal like 500 damage, and then he looks at this, 14 HP regen per second. He's like, oh well, you know.
Yeah, kind of funny the Ember didn't get anything out of that, but yeah.
Yeah. I think in these games, like, people rotate a lot, right? Mid laners.
Yeah, for sure. But they
So
don't do it. They
typically-
don't do it well though. Like I'll see a Queen of Pain
Yeah.
rotate without ultimate or without even.
I mean,
finishing
this
bottles.
rotation is horrible by Sniper. Look at him. I mean, he came top, wasted a TP to hit a Vanguard Centaur.
Is it?
That you don't give a shit. Yeah, I mean, you don't give a shit about this. Like, you're just gonna heal up. So I don't know what this guy's doing.
But
this
if he
guy's
secures the kill, let's say he secures the kill, then it's not a waste.
no. If he gets the kill, it's good. But
Okay, yeah,
there's
yeah.
no
Let's just double
world
check.
in which he gets the kill. You know.
I think
And-
I can't recall if he gets. I don't think he gets the kill, but for some reason I make a lot of silly mistakes for sure.
Let's see. But basically here, look. I mean, there are 3 heroes watching you free farm.
Yeah, it's true.
It's amazing. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, maybe these are not the best players, but your Ember is doing whatever he wants. He's free farming. He's gonna get the 8-minute rune because he sees that Sniper and Lion are top. Your
And it's
PA
worse, it's worse for Sniper to rotate than it is for Ember, because Ember he didn't get any kills either.
yeah, it's much worse. But
Yep.
what I mean is like, from your perspective, you're really happy what's happening here.
Right. I'm having a lot of attention towards me, and then the rest
Yeah.
of my team doesn't have any focus.
You have to trust your team. I mean, it's a team game at some point, but
Of course.
like it is a team game. But my point is that this is giving a lot of space to all your other heroes to just play versus nobody,
Yeah.
basically. So hopefully they turn that into something good. You know, I mean, if your Ember is dying to neutrals, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it.
No,
you know?
no,
But,
we're all good.
yeah. So no, this is good, and this is when now I can talk about. Now you're in a situation where there's different things you can do. This is now after laning phase, right?
Right.
Obviously, you have a build where you're looking to farm. That is you don't want to rotate. You don't have boots. You bought Vanguard. You maxed Retaliate. You're playing for the scaling. Like, you agree with that? Like, that's what you have in mind.
Mhm.
So there are 3 places you can farm here. You can be on the lane. You can be behind the tower, or you can farm defensively.
Right.
Okay, so I only want you to farm defensively if you have a notion that they're gonna kill you, and if you feel like they can't kill you and they're looking at it, then you farm defensively.
Right.
So for instance, if this jogger was, I don't know, level 6, and you feel like you're dying to jog line, you have a play of going to farm these camps, or even these camps. If you feel like Sniper is actually a hero that can't kill you, and you either see him on the ward or he's missing from mid and he could be ganking you, you can farm deeper. And you don't have to fight for the waves anymore. Because as Centaur, you farm so fast that you actually farm almost as fast. That's just how Dota is right now. Farming these camps is almost as efficient as farming the wave. And it might even allow for your Rubik to sneak some XP and get some lessons himself. Because what might happen is, if they're looking to kill you and they can't because you're just not there, then they might look to do something else. You run back to mid or something, and then Rubik will get things for himself. And it's always good to play up to them. Don't overplay your hand. If you like sit in the lane, keep doing what you've been doing so far. Because like what you were doing 5 minutes ago, you can do it even better now. Because you have Vanguard. You know what I mean? You grew much stronger. This guy didn't. This guy is still sitting at 800 HP. This guy still has 3 HP regen, you know? And you're now at 15.
Jesus, 1700.
Like things got worse for him. And things got even better for you now, you know? So whatever he was struggling with minute 2, it's 10 times worse now minute 8. But I don't want you to if you want to overplay your hand, as in you want to play really aggressive, go for the kill, dive the tower, cut the wave. These are aggressive plays. Because if you cut the waves, it's amazing, right? Like when you cut the wave, why is it great to cut the wave? Is because most of the time you can pull it into a neutral camp, so you're farming a wave plus a neutral camp at the same time, so it's very efficient with Retaliate, and it exposes them to attacks because they're under tower, they're tanking damage from the creeps, and you have full vision of them. and the
Right.
creeps are tanking the tower for you, so the dive is free. This is usually when safe laners are going to look to gates. So this is why as offlaners, when you cut the wave, it's like the dream scenario, basically. It's like the dream of every offlaner is being allowed to freely cut the waves. Because you farm faster, and you create attack situations on the safe lane.
Okay.
Okay? But the problem with it is that you're much more exposed. Because you're deep. So
Right.
if the mid laners or the position 4, whoever it is, I guess it's Clicks this game, decide to attack you, you're in a position where it's hard to stop. So my point with cutting the waves now, so we talked about when to farm defensively. When to cut the wave is your own assessment of, can they fuck with you, yes or no?
Confidence,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give an example. If you feel like the sniper, obviously the sniper seems to be hungry for kills. He already rotated to your lane. So if you cut the wave, chances are he's gonna come back, right? You would agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
So if he comes back and you do it when you're level 5, you might die. But maybe if you have Stampede, you don't die anymore to these heroes. Because
Yeah,
you're just
and
gonna
I'm
Stampede
level 6,
away.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe in this case, you should wait until level 6, and then you're gonna be allowed to cut the wave. And Sniper will rotate for nothing again. And now you're turning this game into a dream game for Ember. Because in reality, if you look at this game more closely, Sniper versus Ember is a horrible matchup for Ember. And you can see the last hits, right? The Sniper has owned the Ember on the lane. He owned him completely.
Yeah.
So trust me, this Ember is like, he's very happy about you. The fact that you're dragging attention from Sniper and you're not dying, this Ember couldn't be happier.
That's funny because I think after this lane I didn't feel good because I had died 3 times. But you're saying that 3 times is bad, but the amount of tension and focus I'm pulling the enemy team towards me means that everybody else is not dying as much. So it's a trade-off, but for the better.
And you could have avoided some of these deaths.
Well,
it isn't the
that's
death
my
that
slogan,
I like, of
man.
course.
That's my slogan, yeah.
Yeah, but it isn't so much about the death, it's more about your willingness to expose yourself and to wasting their time and playing off the limits of your strength. It's like, I'm Centaur, I'm tanky, I don't die. They try to kill me, but they don't manage to. I have Vanguard. That is what I think is very important and is helping your team tremendously. So if you were to wait for Stampede and cut the wave, and imagine there's a situation where Sniper ganks you, and you have Stampede, you survive the gank, man, this Ember is gonna be... You're getting a command from this guy. Because you turn his game into, I'm getting bullied by Sniper, into I'm playing versus no one, I'm gonna be top 1 net worth Ember, and I'm gonna have really high impact on the game.
Yeah.
So
No,
typically
yeah,
here,
true.
you're playing the lane, it's good, you guys are pressuring. I can make like a slight point on the stick usage here. So you're out of mana, and you want to get, like, to me this is like a little bit lazy, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
Is because if you don't save your magic wand, next time they attack you and they stun you and mana drain, you're gonna have no mana to use Stampede, so you might actually die.
Oh, good point.
So you want to save it to make
When
sure
I
that
need
you
it.
want Stampede and protect yourself. I'll fast forward a little bit on that.
Yeah, no worries.
There's a lot of fighting. Good. I mean, you guys are doing great this game, honestly. You're doing great. All they have is this sniper that's very strong, but he's wasted already quite a lot of time on you.
I think the lane stage actually overall for everybody went well. I think in the mid game it starts to fall apart. Like I said, we did win, but it took 53 minutes, so there's definitely an area where things started just crumbling, or at least for me, I just didn't feel as great.
Okay. Let's watch it. So the efficiency here would have been to aggro the wave to the camp.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, you walk up here to the wave. You take this wave with you, and you pull it to the neutral camp. This one or this one, for instance.
I never thought about that. That's a good point.
Yeah, you always want to do that with Centaur. Let's see what you do here. You take it. Yeah, this is nice. Just walk with it there. You're gonna farm both at the same time. It's very nice.
No, good point.
You can do the same with the next one here. Or you just clear it, it's fine too.
Yeah, that's
Think about it
what I
every
do.
time you get the chance. Yeah. You prioritize ancients, that's good. You're bringing a TP, yeah, that's good. You have Stampede, so that's also one of the things with Centaur that's really cool is, let's say you're maximizing your farm, which you are, and look at your net worth, it looks great. You're maximizing your farm, you're still able to help your team globally. Whereas for your counterpart, unless it's like a Dawnbreaker or something, it's not the same.
Right.
So technically your team, as an offlaner, your team has an edge on their team. Like your 4 versus 4 or your 3 versus 3, whatever situation they encounter themselves in, is buffed by you, and not the same can be said for the enemy team. So that is one of the strengths of Centaur at this point in the game. It's like, not only are you a farming machine, like whoever is their offlaner, I don't know if it's Cuddle or Clinks, I guess it's Cuddle, he cannot match your farm speed. He can't.
Sure.
Nobody can right now. You're the fastest farming hero on the map right now, and you want to put that to use. You know, that's what you remember when I mentioned when we started the coaching session that you want to use your tools in Dota.
Yep.
Well, that's the tool that you have. Your hero farms absurdly fast, so use it. You're gonna get items that are gonna help you keep snowballing the game, and on top of that, you're gonna be helping your team, even though you're icing basically.
I don't think I ever use my ultimate globally, even though it's very obvious.
Okay, so what you should be doing, ideally, is not have, whenever there's like a fight happening, I want you to have your camera, not always, but at times, on what's going on, just so that you click a clutch stampede. Because realistically, you do not need to look at what you're doing here, you know?
Yeah.
So you can just, keep putting
Should I
your
be
camera...
more generous about Stampede? Like, even, let's say for that fight, it didn't really seem like they needed Stampede. Should I just do it anyway?
No,
or
only if you read that they need it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, that was a good one. Oh, okay, you TP'd. I didn't realize you TP'd.
I didn't either.
So, this is a TP. I'm not sure I like the TP. I'll
It's
explain
like
why,
after the
but
fight,
let's
or-
look at it. So you end up not getting a kill.
No.
And honestly, even if... Okay, you're gonna kill the Coddle.
Oh, Zembra's back.
Honestly, it's not that bad. It'll be really good. But the reason why I would think twice about this TP is basically the situation that I was describing earlier and what you had here. It was a very nice situation, Like, you're just like vacuuming the entire set of the map. Like this, it looks like this now. It's gonna be 5k in 5 minutes. If this keeps happening, like they have a problem. They're gonna play versus whatever you buy. Like they're gonna play versus Blade Mail, Blink Dagger, or whatever you're planning to buy, Pipe, or they're gonna have a big problem. They're gonna have a massive Centaur problem in a few minutes from now. The fact that you abandon this position, it kind of sacrifices that. You know what I mean?
My question about that, I think a lot of people at my level for sure get that either just naturally or, of course the team is verbally abusive, is that we sometimes feel like we should be in those fights. If everybody's there and it's mid-game, we feel like we should be in those fights. But you're saying it would have been more valuable for me to stay in the lane. But it feels weird as an offlaner to be the one that's farming when even, let's say, my core, or, usually my core, like pause 1 here, not yet here now, but in general, my pause 1 might be in that fight as well. So how do I decide to stay in farm versus, let's say, help a fight?
So as an offlaner, it depends on which stage of the game, but actually your job at this stage of the game is to farm. It is how you help your team the most, because you're not very useful yet.
Oh, okay, really?
You're a guy. I mean, you are a little bit useful, but you're gonna become extremely useful when you have your Blink Dagger.
Right.
This is when you have Blink and Blade Mail, dude, like they have a massive problem. None of them can touch you. They die before you die, and you're just running them down with your Blink Dagger.
So sometimes it's okay to farm up to Blade Mail, Blink Dagger? Really? Okay.
Totally, it's okay.
It
unless the situation... Right? So you never wanna emotionally compensate.
Okay.
If you go there because you're afraid of the reaction of your team, you're already in a bad spot. it's not a good reason to connect to the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the reason should only be Dota is about Dota. That's it. If it makes sense Dota-wise, to you identify that, oh, this is a good fight. Like these guys are overdoing this. They're overplaying their head. Like I'm gonna go there and we're killing them. Then I like it. But if you go there because you don't want PA to feel bad, or you know what I mean, or your team to be upset with you because they fought and you weren't there,
Yeah.
that's not. Then don't get affected by it. Only let your Dota your Dota knowledge and instinct dictates
Decide.
what you want to do next. Decide
it.
what you want to do next.
Got it.
Do not do it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. What I would want you to do here is to gate back. You run back to the gate now, and you take your position back.
Oh, really? Okay, I don't like push for a tower or something, like take advantage of it.
No, it's too early to push for towers.
Okay, with this
it's
hero,
inefficient. Right? Yeah, I'm sure they're all gonna TP back here. Like, they're not gonna allow this, or let's see what they do. Yeah, snipers TP, like they're upset. You did get the tower. Okay, you die.
Don't worry.
Okay, but so getting the tower is fine, but again, I think you should still be like, you know, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the next wave. I'm looking at all these juicy camps that deserve to be farmed by Centaur. It would have been much better for your game. Right. Yeah, much more. Yeah. And realistically, okay, you get this tower, but what is it giving you realistically? Like your PA, she died. She wants to farm Battle Fury. She wants to farm Ancients with it. She's not coming back here, you know? Yeah. Like nobody's gonna come play. Like, you're not gonna advance even though you took the tower. It's too early.
Got it.
You're not strong enough. Yeah, as a team.
We should head into the 53-minute game, so I think we should move a little more ahead.
Yeah, we can, but
we won't see the whole thing, but it's okay.
I think we don't have to go all the way. We don't even need to go all the way, like finish the game. I would even be fine to leaving at that and just like try to
start with this.
Yeah, start with this. I think it's already more than good enough, and get to the Blink Vanguard Blade Mail. You know, I just want to see what you do next so that you get your items, and then we can talk about once you get Blink Vanguard Blade Mail or Blink Blade Mail, or you can decide what you want to buy. The one thing that I definitely I'm sure about is you don't want to start making plays, active plays, until you get the Blink on center. That is for sure. So right now, I want you to keep maximizing until you get the Blink. Whether you decide to get the Blink before the Blade Mail or, you know, in which order, that is up to you.
Got it.
But you should not be running around looking for plays until you get the Blink, if that makes sense. Especially when you max Retaliate.
Okay, I always interpreted my ultimate meant that I could make plays if there was an opportunity for it. See,
you
like
could,
right here.
Yes. So I want you to be open-minded to make the plays when you see them, but let them come naturally. Don't look for them.
Right, just double checking.
Look for maximizing. Look for getting your Blink as fast as possible. You see the difference, right? Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, definitely. I understand there's nuance, of course.
Yeah. Because like this death hurts your game a lot, for instance. You've now died twice. Like realistically, had you not TP'd bottom, I mean the bottom TP to me, I'm not very fair with it because it actually turned great,
right,
even in terms of net worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I could go back to this decision of like moving forward after the fight. Like right now, if you gate back, in 2 minutes you have Link.
Got it.
You're gonna have a Blade Layer in 2 minutes. And if I fast forward, you died here, and then you decided to go mid, and you ended up being in a fight again, which I think in this bracket will always happen. I think people always answer pressure.
I'm like a mad cow. It's crazy.
I guess it never happens, right? That they're like, oh, let's not fight, or let's just play for another timing.
Basically, they have to die like 20 times, and they're like, maybe I should farm. But by then, it's over.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Because if I keep... It's been 2 minutes already, and you only gained like 800 gold. But your Link is going to be quite delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you go back to farm, which is good.
You have to. I have to die like 3 times before I'm like, maybe
yeah.
I can get my items.
But you didn't have to. It's okay. Oh, you should always think of stacking with Centaur, by the way. Like, so this is definitely a cap you should have stacked. On 50, 54, 53. Now you're flash farming your Blink.
Things for sure.
I really like that you're flash farming it. Alright, Blink is online. Great.
Not before I die.
Okay, no. You're alive, you're alive.
Rubik saved me. I forgot how good Rubik is, Christ.
He's playing really well this game.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, this was ballsy.
Nice, Bale. Alright, you bought a dust too because you're looking to get the kills. It's looking good.
I think I felt.
And now
too
you
low.
can be looking. Now I like that you're looking. You're looking around mid, and now you have to decide what to do basically. But yeah, so I think if it's fine with you, I think we could leave it at that for now.
Yeah.
I think
for
we
sure.
already talked about like a lot of things, and if we can get you to play Centaur, like always having a smooth sailing to this timing, then the next phase will be right. Like, what do we do next? You know, how do we put that to use?
No, for
But
sure.
it's already massive improvement is if this can be stabilized.
Thanks a lot for everything. Merci encore, and see you next time, man. And thanks everybody for checking us out.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye
good
bye.
one. Cheers.